Hey everybody, time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. Let's start off with the gorgeous Prairie Beige oval. So we finished putting the new 26 millimeter oil pump in this morning, and bingo, oil pressure, oil light problem solved. So thank goodness. We can get this car back to the owner. He's out of town. He'll be back Monday. I'm going to let him know, hey, come get it. And so, again, this was pretty much a complete build. As I mentioned before, the car came in partially assembled, but we redid nearly everything on the car. So pretty much a complete build as far as our shop's concerned. We had pretty much our hand on practically every nut, bolt, and part of this car except the transmission per se. But other than that, we did most everything on this car. We didn't do the interior. That was done at Lenny's shop, but we installed most of the interior. So anyway, glad to get this back to the customer. Glad his oil pressure issue is done and he can continue enjoying it. He's been driving the heck out of this thing and putting some cool accessories on it, as some of you pointed out the other day. Look at that. That's the legit deal right there. Can't imagine what he paid for this. Guess it wasn't cheap, but man, perfect for this car. Same thing with the rear window blind. Dang. Anyway, so that happened this morning. This poor guy only got a little bit of love this morning. So he got his ashtray installed, and you can see on this side the knob and everything looks amazing. Of course, we had that zinc plated, and looks killer. I think that's about the only thing Rafa did on this today. I think that's pretty much it. Spent most of the morning finishing up the oval, a little bit of time on this, and then Rafa and I both spent most of the afternoon on the double cab here. Pretty much when the car came in, lots and lots of parts and lots of boxes. Luckily, things were tagged and bagged really well as far as, what things were, different bolts and stuff. Look, there's a starter bolt, super organized, but a little bit random what was in what box, and we didn't really know what was missing. So we pretty much took out all his boxes of parts and kind of spread out all the parts in the bags on the floor and on the table, went through it all and figured out what we were missing to, really start assembling this thing. So one of the first things we do on a project like this is we pretty much do all the brakes. So we got to run new hard brake lines. We have to install the master cylinder, which he had, but he didn't have the reservoirs. These actually have a reservoir that sits on the master cylinder, and then there's a fill reservoir that sits in the cab of the car, where if you add fluid, you actually add it through that one. He didn't have any of that. The line that connects them, a bunch of stuff like that he's missing. So we got that on order. I'll get it tomorrow, and then I may start doing his hard lines tomorrow. And so that'll happen. And then the one of the other early things we do is all the controls for the throttle, the brake, the clutch, all that stuff, those pedal assemblies. Go ahead and put all those together probably. May go ahead and put the steering box on, although it doesn't really make much sense to put the steering column on until the dash is in, which is going to be a while. But at least these controls that go down here, probably go ahead and get those going. Again, that's kind of what we typically do early in the process, is start putting those things together underneath the car. Kind of get all the underneath the car stuff worked out. Even for that matter, the shift rod, there's actually a short shift rod that goes from here to about here, and then a long one that runs through a tube pretty much all the way back to the transmission. Probably go ahead and install those. Again, try and knock out a lot or most of that sort of under car stuff. Got the car up on jacks. It's a great time to do that sort of stuff. So placed a semi-massive order today with Wolfsburg West for a lot of the things to do the things that I just mentioned. So once we get in those parts, then this thing's going to start going together pretty quick. So hopefully starting tomorrow. The other thing I did was I discussed with AJ Sims, who owns and operates Low Bucket VW Parts Store. You may have heard of him. He's literally right around the corner for us here in Orange. Talking to him about his fuel injection options, and I really like all the things he said. He has a dual Weber IDF style fuel injection system that I think is going to be a perfect fit to this vehicle. So probably going to go ahead and go with his system. There's a few on the market, but AJ is literally like a block from me, and I really like his amount of experience he has with it, and again, his accessibility as far as, you know, if I need help or whatever, he's right there. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with AJ's fuel injection system. So other than that, started in on restoring some of the parts for this. Went ahead as we were going through all the boxes, and I pulled out the wiper assembly, disassembled it. This mount here is going to go to powder coat, and then these arms here are going to go to zinc plating. Hardware, which I still need to clean up, is going to zinc plating. The motor actually looks pretty good. I cleaned it up. Not sure, I may actually paint this housing here. We'll see, but cleaned up pretty good. Probably what I should do though is go ahead and test it and make sure it's even works before I invest too much time making it look any prettier. But it cleaned up pretty nice. So if it does work, then cool. Likewise, the e-brake on these has one that you sort of pull toward you. Unlike earlier cars where it was like a big lever you did this with, this one has like a T-handle on it, and you sort of pull it to you and it ratchets. We're going to zinc plate that because that's going to look cool. And it's the other little piece for it. And likewise, here's another part for the wiper assembly. That's going to get zinc. So here's some more parts for zinc plating. Rafa did actually, one other thing I forgot that he did on the 64 Beetle was he started disassembling and restoring the speedometer. You can see the housing here for it. We're going to have that zinc plated. He tested the speedometer mechanism itself, works great. He ran it with a drill, and he got it to turn over a mile. So the odometer itself works, the speedometer works. It was actually very smooth. A lot of times those needles kind of bounce. This thing was like rock solid smooth. So yeah, we're going to restore that. And more zinc plating. I think we're going to have the steering shaft for the bay window bus zinc plated, so I kind of cleaned that up. So yeah, just you know, kind of restoring parts, getting things ready for plating, powder coating, etc. One thing that I found going through the parts for this bus, which I love this, and that's why it's on the thumbnail for today's video. The owner mentioned that this bus, when he got it, it had a lot of rust in it. And so what I'm guessing, this was included with his parts. And so what I'm guessing is that the floorboards were rusted out, and this was somebody's fix for it. And I'm really glad that that whoever disassembled the bus kept this, because it makes me very happy. I believe that the floor was rusted out, and they had this Alabama license plate, you know, screwed to the floor to support their throttle pedal. And who knows how the car may have been driven like this, but I just love seeing stuff like this. It's amazing. These cars are so easy to work on, and, you know, kind of the like creativity and resourcefulness of people who have them that, you know, they break or they're rusted out, the things people do to, you know, put them back on the road in whatever way they can with whatever resources they have available. I think it's a really cool part of Volkswagens that I think you see stuff like that on Volkswagens probably, I would guess, more than any other make or you know, model of cars, just stuff like this. So love finding stuff like this. If you guys have seen things like this, you know, mention it in the comments. But super fun. You know, to me, this thing actually is a piece of really great wall art. I'm going to see if the customer for this bus doesn't want it back. You know, I may mount this thing on the wall in the shop somewhere, because it's so damn funny and so awesome at the same time. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.